I invite my glorious I Am Presence and Holy Christ Self to come within me and to take dominion over all aspects of my life. To this I align my personalities, my body elemental, and my new spirit, so that all parts of my being are in balance, harmony, and alignment, and under the dominion of my own divine self. All parts of my being are held within my heart diamond and Metatron's cosmic egg. I am going to be reading questions from 3 different viewers for Metatron for today. The first question is about Enoch and Thoth, because some people think that Metatron is Enoch. Greetings, beloveds. As I have said in the past, I have never incarnated in a human physical form. The lowest I have ever lowered my individual vibration is through the being known as Arch Angel Metatron. The Archangel is an aspect of myself, just as your physical body is simply an aspect of yourself. Your true self is an eternal being of light that cannot be limited to a mere human form. However, I have allowed my consciousness to be infused with the consciousness of humans throughout all history. In the same way that I work through Christmas, the more she aligns her personality and her self with me, the more she becomes a conscious part of my being, through whom I can work my will. And this is what I have done with Thoth, with Enoch, and with many other beings throughout time. I hope this answers your question. Another viewer has asked, what about the 5th dimensional Earth and the timeline for all kingdoms to achieve full implementation into this new Earth and new reality? Beloved, I am choosing not to reveal any timelines about any of the events that are happening. These are mere distractions for the mind. What I wish you to do is to do your spiritual work so that you can begin to function as an individual in the 5th dimensional arena, shall we say. No human needs to be held back because of what is happening on a collective level with the entire Earth. And I think that some of you who are asking this question, even if it is only in your mind, it is because you are expecting somehow for the work to be done for you, after all, if the entire Earth is going to be lifted into the fifth dimension at a certain point in time, then how or why is it necessary for you to do your work? You can just ride along with the collective wave. This is not what I want to happen, beloveds. And if many of you fall into this same type of thinking, then that will only delay the occurrence that you so wish for. It is because of each of the individual's efforts to raise their consciousness, to raise their frequency of operation into the fifth dimension, that the collective will be able to have this experience. Most of you who are watching these videos are the awakened ones, and it is your work that is so needed in order for the collective to benefit. So please, forget about timelines in general. They are a distraction. Simply continue your focus on your work and know that all events are occurring at the perfect time, guided by my will and the collective will of the spiritual hierarchy that is in full alignment with the will of the Creator. The third question is rather long, but I would like to read most of it because I feel that many of you may be asking yourself the same question. This person's question is, how are we supposed to balance God's will for our lives with our own desires, plans for our lives? I find that I have my own desires and goals, yet I understand and pray that God's will always be done. For instance, I really wanted a job change, and I prayed for it so much, but it wasn't meant to be, and God denied me that. Do I really have to give up absolutely all my hopes and dreams? I feel as if I have no control over my own life. I am happy to let God rule my affairs, but I would like to be able to influence at least some things, such as where I work, etc. Well, beloveds, there are several key words in your question that show your lack of spiritual understanding. First of all, you say that God denied you something. God did not deny you anything. And you also say that you wish to balance God's will with your own desires. This is not how it works. There can be no balance. You either surrender your individual ego will to God totally and completely, or you do not do it at all. The reason that this question is so important is because the years of separation between yourself and God has engendered a total distrust both of God and of your own ability to perceive God's will for you. So there cannot be a balance. There can only be a complete surrender to God's will. Then at some point, you will begin to understand that God's will is always in your highest and best interest. Your ego mind may think that you need a new job, or a new partner, or a new place to live, or whatever the ego desires. But that does not mean that the fulfillment of those desires is in your highest and best interest. Nor does it mean that it will help you in your path of enlightenment and ascension, which is what you are all here for. So, beloved, your ego at this point only wants God's will to be done when it is in harmony with your own ego will. This can cause much confusion, and the confusion leads you to believe that God is denying you something, or that you somehow have to let go of all of your hopes and dreams. And none of this is true. As with Job in the Bible, he had everything that he thought he desired, and then those things were taken away from him one by one. His faith was being tested so that he could come into full enlightenment and know his true divine self. And so I ask you to trust that all of your experiences at this time are intended to help you become your true self, to become fully enlightened and ascended, however you wish to call this process that all of you are going through at this time. And if you cannot trust God in the small things, and truly, beloved, getting a new job or a new partner or a new house are truly small things. And if you cannot trust God in these small things, how will you be able to trust God in the greater things, in your very own life? So I ask you to work on developing trust, on asking for guidance from your own I Am presence for the small things, as to what you should eat, what you should wear, where you should go and when. For it is truly easiest to develop this trust and this faith in the small things before you are obliged to do it in the greater things. And please know that when you say, "Let God's will be done," then you must trust that God's will is being done. But do not look upon it as a denial of your hopes and dreams. Look upon it as a fulfillment of your greater hopes and dreams. For these are the ones that truly matter, beloveds. The whole earth is going through a great transition. And all of you are going through a transition in your own individual worlds. And I tell you, this transition will only be easy and gracious as you let go of your ego's will and surrender all to God. Be grateful for all that you are experiencing. For every single experience is designed to assist you. With the attitudes of surrender and gratitude, you can move quickly and gracefully through your own transition. You will be master of your own world as you let the great divine director of life guide you. I thank and bless all of you for watching this video. I love you. I am Metatron.